Okay, so you wanted a quick trade setup. There's actually one that's happened on Friday here. So it's actually a live trigger. Not going to go into all the details because, of course, we haven't talked about all these different indicators, but it is a live trigger. So here goes. Very quickly, what's going on in the background. You asked to upload a trade setup. That's what this video is about. I got a section in the Discord called sample setups. Right now there's a bunch of screenshots here of before and afters, so you can open up those and check those out. I'll upload this video there. So that's that. And notice right now when you look at this live trading view, you see the ups and downs, and you see a couple of red and green arrows pointing up and down here. Something happened to TradingView on Friday. I have not figured it out yet, but I'm going to show you a screenshot that I've taken prior to that. You can see I have many more green arrows and red arrows pointing up and down. These are all my trade signals that I always keep track of on my base chart, and unfortunately for some reason they have disappeared. So I'm going to just show you a screenshot to show you what the past has produced, and then now we're going to show you the live chart of what Friday produced, because notice right here on Friday when this screenshot was taken, this was live, notice the red was very small bar and it was right on that upward angled dashed trend line, and also right between these two orange resistance zones. So now I'm going to get rid of the screenshot. We're going to come over here. Notice here's where it happened. The red bar, the long red bar, that's the result of Friday. Everything that happened Friday. This little tiny little bit of red right here, this is actually live right now, Sunday night. And I'm going to zoom in on this so we can see a little bit more. Okay. So what's happened here is by crossing down here below this orange line, and if you follow that orange line, you can see if you would have gotten in here at this last signal, you would have been able to ride that trade for about a month, just about. But we've crossed that orange line. Down here, this is called the EM wave. This is called the EM value chart. I work with those three together to generate these trade signals, and we'll get into that in a future date. But effectively, Friday has triggered that. So therefore, what you got to be thinking about is, do I have a short signal there? For example, here's one right here that worked out very, very nicely. And you had it in for about 5-6 days, and that was a nice trade. There is a little bit of difference here. Here we had come up and came right up to a resistance zone. We bounced around a while, then we got a signal to go down, and we were in a continued downtrend. Here we are still in a bear market, but notice we have a break of structure. We have come up this far, breaking above this bit of structure. It did not break above this zone yet, but it did test it, right? So now we have to decide, are we gaining more bullish momentum? Do we take more risk? So the answer is generally depends on your risk tolerance. For example, with this line pointing up, this is kind of a medium to longer term trend. And one rule you can follow is, if you follow your trades with that line, then your probability is increasing. Meaning, if this is going up and you want to trade long or bullish, then you would stay with bullish on this one. If you get a bearish signal like we've gotten here today and this line is going up, you can either A, sit out, wait for a new trade, or B, call this a counter trend trade and realize that that probability of success will be a little lower because it is counter to the prevailing mid to long term trend. And by mid to long term, I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. Notice this was the peak of the market, and you can see how it is generally down point to point, but it follows price just a little bit, not quite as accurately as this green line, but this is more of a little longer term trend. This green line is really trying to pick out some real definite turning points. So when you pair all these things up together, this is how you get a signal. So I have generated a signal, a very common one here, as you've seen from the previous screenshots. So now what we'll do is we'll follow this. Could the trade end right here It's very possible. It could be that we jump in, the support here it lasts for a couple days and away it goes because it is counter trend. If not, we'll follow it all the way through because I've also identified all of these potential resistance zones. Mind you, there are resistance zones all over the place, but I've tried to pick out the more key zones, the ones that offer the most resistance. Therefore, if we do kind of come down through one, you can expect to make it to the other one. If we make it through this one, you can kind of expect it to make it to here. Again, when I say kind of expected, it is a probability game. So right now, all we can do is hope that now that we've taken this trade, that it'll be similar to this one or the previous one where we've had a nice several days move. We can get out, take a little profit. So that is the setup. I will upload this as is.